Excellent. I want to welcome each and every one of you guys to Money Making Monday. We do this every Monday, same bat time, same bat link. Matter of fact, if you don't know the link of the time and you watching the recording, who gave you this recording? You need to ask them, when do we do this amazing training and what is the link? Because as we get bigger, we are going to start getting smaller. We got to make sure that as we're effectively sponsoring, we are giving you the things that we need. You guys look amazing. Before we get started, how is everybody doing?
Fantastic.
Outstanding.
Better than amazing.
Nice. Well, my name is in the bottom of the box. I'm Sean T. Hill, but that is not the thing that's important. What's important right now is we're going to be trained by a master. Now, those of you who got a text message today for $20 or above, I need you to raise your hand or throw up a money sign because we're about to go in the money club. I'll be creating that in a couple of seconds. But for the rest of you that want to learn what it takes to get into that club, well, I got the person that taught me how to get into that club about to teach you how to get into that club. And not only get in, but stay in for life. Does that sound like somebody you want to hear from?
Yeah.
Now, here's the part that's exciting for me. He was already ridiculously excited. He was ridiculously excellent and exceptional in academia. Still got a dual degree from Duke University. I'll tell you the truth. When I first met him, I didn't believe him. I didn't even know dark-skinned people went to Duke. And so then he actually parlayed that. Yeah, see, a lot of y'all don't know. At one point, he had 2 six-figure jobs.
Okay.
While, watch this, because some people suffer from excusitis, while building this business. And he's one of the top producers in this business as well. How many of you guys would agree success leaves clues?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give y'all a cheat sheet. You want to have success? Go talk to the most successful people you know and see if they can transfer that over here. I can't get mad at people that never do nothing if they come over here and never do nothing. I just want to give y'all that for free. But this gentleman is going to teach you how to be successful immediately. If you apply the things that he's sharing right now, you will never get left in here when we go to the money club ever again. But we're about to leave you right now in the hands of someone super capable. And as a matter of fact, he's one of the most sought out speakers, not only in our company, not only in this industry, but in the world. You go ahead and do your research on National Speakers Association stuff, Toastmaster stuff. You see this guy at the top of the list of all those things, can be anywhere he wanted to be in the world, and he's actually investing time into us. Does that sound like somebody worthy of a nice round of applause?
Yes.
Yes.
Let's give it up for my sponsor, David Harden.
Sponsor.
Oh my goodness, my goodness. Man, listen. Y'all want to see what dark skin blushing looks like? I mean, I'm so excited to get the chance to train him. Before Sean beams up to the money room with the money club, let me do my personal goal for everyone is to have a Sean Hill story. I want you to be mad enough about something and excited enough about something else that a year later, your bank account doesn't recognize you. I want you to be that person where you don't ask how you doing, you ask, where are you? Because Sean is everywhere in the world. It used to be, I say, anywhere, man, are you in town? But did he do an awesome job breaking down the cash flow conversation, give you an overview of how everything works?
Yeah.
So before the money club starts disappearing into the breakout room, because I know it's looking like people just phase out, y'all do me one more favor. Give it up for Dr. Sean T. Hill.
Yeah.
And if you know, like I know, make sure that you keep that information we shared at the end of the Zoom in the family. Other people in other teams try to figure out when we are training and how they can pull up. This is a family affair. Y'all hear me? It's a family affair. But as I jump into the training, this is what I want to make sure to do. For people that are new for the first time, I want to get a chance to know you and where you're from. Now, looking across the face, I see a lot of people are going to disappear as they go to the Money Club. If you're brand new, if this is my first time training you, let me know your name, where you're tapping in from, and who sponsored you in the business.
Okay, so I'll go first.
Okay.
My name is Deshaun Wright. I'm based out of Atlanta, Georgia.
Deshaun in my city.
I'm new. Fabian brought me in. I actually work with Fabian.
All right, excellent. That's family right there. No, that's like our legitimate cousin. So when Fabian tells you his cousins are in the business, that's for real. Oh God. So looking forward to working with Deshaun in Atlanta. What part of town you live in?
Right now, I stay in Stockbridge.
In Stockbridge, so on the south side. So I drove fast through your neighborhood yesterday on the way to Warner Robins, but I'll be back. All right, who else we got on the line? Is that Coco in the building? I hadn't seen you in a minute, lady. Good to see you. I know you're not new, but it's good to see you on Zoom. Who else is
Say
new?
something, Coco.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Tell everybody where you're tapping in from so we get to know each other. Like, this is what happens. If you on these Zooms and your picture's never there, you'll show up to the boot camp where we giving away so much stuff. It's ridiculous. We still thinking of new stuff to give away. But if they don't ever see your face, it'll be like, and you are?
I'm Coco from Montgomery, Alabama, you guys.
The gump is in the building. Who else we got? Is that Miss Elaine?
Elaine Kerr-Helling from Cleveland, Ohio. Beverly Brown is my sponsor, and Carlise Bradford is my upline.
All right, Cleveland in the building.
Yeah.
We got Browns fans, so we got Ohio, we got Alabama. Who else do I see? That's a new face from his.
This is William Russell. I'm not quite a new face, but I'm new to your trading. My sponsor is Roberto Russell, and my upline is Pia McLean.
All right.
We're in it to win.
Ian McLean in the building, and yeah, William Russell, man, you're doing some things. Watch out, but William trying to leave y'all early. He ain't made it to the first training, but he's trying to get to the Money Club this week. All right, who else we got?
Yes, my name's Andrus Lanham. I'm currently in Vegas, originally from Bridgeport, Connecticut. My sponsor is Tanisha Sanchez.
All right, Vegas in the building. We coming your way. 702. Oh, a weird phone number fact. People call my business line all the time trying to book a room at the Venetian. Like my phone number is 770-414-1000. Turns out the Venetian is 702-414-1000. I was like, it's like I'm gonna start funneling them to an Airbnb. I'm gonna figure out a way to make some money off this, but that just happens. All right, so we got Vegas, we got Montgomery, we got South Florida. Elaine was in Cleveland. Deshaun is in Atlanta. Who else is brand new? Who's a new face for me?
Richard, this is Arlene, part of Team Wilson. This is my first time training with you.
Hey, Arlene.
Out of Joliet, Illinois, and Anita is my sponsor.
Joliet, Illinois. Now, Joliet, that's south of Chicago, yes?
Yes.
Okay. But not quite the Indiana.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Indiana.
All right. So this is what I want you to do. If you're in this, if this training Zoom is the first one for you, the first thing I want you to do is equip yourself to make this training last beyond today. How do you do that? You got to take notes. They say to think is to put it in ink. And I do want you to be able to write down some simple things so that we can save, make, and grow money together. Is that okay?
Yes.
And then for those of you, does everybody have their printed copy of their MWR roadmap to making wealth real? Printed copy. I'm looking for paper. Wait, let me go get mine.
Yes.
You got to understand, when you're new in this business, and I'm new every day, it's the blueprint. There you go, Elaine. That's a good job right there. This is the blueprint for where we track our work. Does that make sense? Now, for those that don't have it, can somebody post a link in the chat? Any leaders? Now, I'll go cheat sheet mode for you so that you have it when I get to this part. But the first thing I want you to put on your blank piece of paper, don't put this on your roadmap. I want you to put this on your notes page, which is different from your roadmap. On your notes page, our business is simple. Everybody say simple.
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 It's simple. It's KISS. Keep it
simple, stupid.
Super simple. I can't let people talk about my new friends like that. Keep it super simple. We're going to keep this business simple, and we're going to focus on the 3 S's in our conversation today. If you're getting started today, it's 3 things that we do in this business, and we rinse and repeat those 3 things. The first thing we do is we start. Start. That's number 1. Second thing we do is we share. And the third thing we do is we stay. Start, share, and stay. That's the formula for daily pay. Start, share, stay. Increase my daily pay. Start, share, and stay. Increase my daily pay.
Hey, let's go.
Start, share, and stay. Increase my daily pay. Now, what does that mean? So when we get started in this business, when you get started, I want you to understand that as soon as you start, I'm gonna set one expectation. As soon as you start the business, expect some resistance from the atmosphere. Something in your life is going to try to distract or dissuade you. I don't know what it is in your situation. You might have a child going through some things. You might have some turbulence in your relationship. It's the universe's way of testing that you're serious about the thing that you said you want. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So I don't know you. I don't know your individual situations, but I do know this about you, is that your gift, your blessing, your anointing is always under attack. And as soon as you start to move that direction, when that thing happens, I don't know what it's going to be. Coworker might say something stupid. Child might get out of hand, especially a grown child that's asking you for your money, but not taking your advice. Listen, if they took your advice, they wouldn't need your money. Oh, that's another. I said what I said, though.
It's another story.
Something will
Never
happen. Something will happen, but what I want you to be in position to do is understand you can be a bigger blessing if you go through and grow through what you need to get where you're going. So as we jump into the roadmap, I want you to understand a couple of things, and I'm going to share resources to support our process. Is that okay?
Yes.
When you get started in this business, people underestimate how important it is to write down the website that they just made up. But Javon, tell me if you've had somebody ready to sign up and they sponsored and remember what their website was. It happens all the time. That's your online cash register. But I want you to write it down at the top with your password, not so that I will have your password, but when it's time for you to do your part, you can do what you need to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And this fundamental equation, this one right here in the middle, I'm gonna lift it up out of the document and blow it up so that we can understand this is the algebra for adding MWR into your life. People always say, I don't know if I can start a business right now. I don't know if I have time. I don't know if I have experience. I don't know if I have expertise. Let me tell you a secret. You do. You absolutely have everything that it takes to do this business if you understand simple math. So if you take the math that we got right there in the equation, what's the first thing that it has in the equation?
Exposure.
Exposure, right? Exposure.
Got a whiteboard.
Plus education, plus education.
Have a whiteboard.
Oh, sorry. You said you see the whiteboard?
Yeah, it's blank.
Okay, hang on. Let me see if I can put some words in here. We might have to just go back to the paper. Me and the whiteboard usually get along, but maybe not today. Let me close the whiteboard on you. So if you think about right now, exposure plus education plus execution, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those are the things that we're adding to our daily agenda. If you ever want to know, am I doing the business right? Am I doing all I can? Did what I did today lead to an exposure? Did it increase my education, or did it allow the experts to execute on my behalf? Now, you notice there are also some things that we have to subtract if we're going to do business.
Yes.
Business, we got to subtract explanations and emotions, because emotions will knock you out of this business. Now, now let me do some things for you if you're new. If you're new, exposure is how you make more money. If you ever got to the point where you said, I want to increase my paycheck, the way that you increase your paycheck in Make Wealth Real Financial is exposures. Exposures. Now, what's an exposure? Here's my definition. An exposure is a new person having an opportunity to take a look at the business from someone or something other than me. Everybody say that. Exposure
Exposure.
It's an opportunity for somebody to take a look at the business.
It's an opportunity for someone to look at the business.
For someone
Or someone.
or something
Or something
other than me.
other than me.
Do you have your hand up, Angela? I can drop you in there. Give me a second. Anybody else in here being renegade from the money room? Let's see. Hang on.
Okay.
You know what? I think Sean didn't make me co-host, Chuck. Can you do it? Is Chuck still out there? I'll check back in a minute on Angela.
Okay,
If that's okay.
thank you.
All right. So what are ways that you've experienced that we can have an exposure with MWR?
Have a profit party.
Profit party. In all honesty, now that outside is open, that is the fastest, most effective way to kickstart your business. You invite the people that are in your phone that you would invite to your house. You invite them and an expert. Expert shows up, pulls out a piece of paper, walks through the profit party worksheet, and people get started. Isn't that right, William?
Yes, absolutely.
Because now William came to a profit party where Pia and Javon were collaborating together. And not only did William get started, but also Thomas Lorick. And where is China? China Russell. Those are all three from the same party.
China's at work. So
Okay.
it was China and Thomas.
Yeah,
Bert had to work.
And Javon, it is one of those things. It's the blessing of working with a leader like Javon. He's in our comma club. Pia isn't in his money, but we're a helpful family. We help people make money, even if it doesn't pay us directly, because the rewards are always coming. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Javon came, he walked through the game plan, people got started. What's another way you can have an exposure?
Three-way text thread.
Three-way text thread begins it. And in that three-way text thread, we'll talk about how to structure that. The expert will invite them either to the Zoom or the living room. Private Zoom, in my opinion, is the number 2 way to build your business. Private Zoom, right? Why?
Yeah.
In a private Zoom, your expert get together on a time that works for you and them, and you invite all the people that are on your roadmap list to the Zoom. People see it. They see the expert helping you, but you also get the intimacy of a smaller group.
Gotcha.
Third way, public Zoom. Money Making Monday, for those of you that don't know, it's a public Zoom for us, meaning there are very few times where me, Chuck, and Sean will be in the same Zoom at the same time. It just doesn't make sense financially. But it's where everybody comes for a second look, meaning they've been to a private Zoom, they've been in a living room, and they come and see this as validation of just more people seeing what we do. We do Money Making Monday together on Monday. Chuck does a public Zoom on Tuesday. I do one public on Wednesday, and Brian Bean is also later on Wednesday evening. That's another exposure. What's another way you can get an exposure?
Videos.
Videos. I was wondering who was going to tell them the secret, Morgan. Videos. Brian Bean, Chuck, Sean, and I all have YouTube channels where if you have that person that just for whatever reason, they work from 12 a.m. to 8 p.m., 8 a.m., you don't want me to do their Zoom. It'll be the Barry White version of my voice. Hey, good evening. We're going to talk about income shifting and nap time. I'm tired. No. If for any reason they can't make your private Zoom or a public Zoom, you can always shoot them a video as a way that they can expose the business. And put this in your notes. Most people need to see the business 2 different ways anyway before they're locked in on what they heard. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What kind of combination can I have? I can do a video and a Zoom. I can do a living room and a Zoom. I can do a Zoom and a big Zoom. But make sure that we start planning our business for exposure so that they get to see it. Now, somebody said, Richard, you seem pretty intense on people seeing the business from someone other than you. That's especially for when you're new. When you graduate to the money room, my conversation changes completely. Now, does anybody know why I make that emphasis on new people?
No.
Because they're new and they should be new. They don't know enough yet.
It's because you're new. That's right. Absolutely, Morgan. They're new. And it's not that you're not smart, not that you didn't make a good business decision. It's just that there's so many ways that you can get knocked out of the box by a question that you don't know the answer to because you're new and you haven't gotten to that part of your experience yet. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
So when you're new, rely on your experts, and as a matter of fact, use it as deflection, because here's what will happen. Once you tell your friends, listen, I added a stream of income recently. I'm excited about it. It's called income shifting. Have you ever heard of it? You haven't heard of income shifting? They say, no, what is it? What's the temptation?
Explain it.
Explain.
Temptation, biggest temptation is the world is that we back into our mind and explain what we heard. Now, there's only two results that happen when we explain what we heard. Anybody know what those two results are?
More acceptance.
Result number one is you are the bomb.com. You explain it. You walk them through from beginning to end, explaining the W-4, the nuances of how you slip into a different tax bracket by applying the business deduction process, complemented by debt elimination. And they look at you and say, I can't do that. Option number two, you are the worst ever. You sound crazy. Not because you are, it's just not organized in your mind yet. And the person says, I can't bring my people to you to share this for me. Easiest way, leverage the experts. You got access to legit direct access. You're less than one phone call away from the CEO of this company. I was going to say the top money earner, but all of us talk to Brian House and Endamo weekly. We are the root of this company and you're a part of that. Take advantage of the time to be new and take as many notes as possible. Now, the second part is education. There are two types of education that we'll engage in MWR. There is financial education, meaning we learn the rules of the wealthy through the conversation. Like the income shifting conversation, in all honesty, is groundbreaking in terms of what this business does compared to what people have come to expect from home business or network marketing. Has anybody had somebody ask you, is this network marketing?
Yes.
Yes.
You know why?
Yes.
Because people have been getting approached by network marketing their whole lives, whether you're going to save somebody some money on their phone bill, or you're going to get them some shakes so that they can lose weight, or you're going to help them with travel, all of these things. The byproduct is money. Am I making sense?
Yes.
Yes.
This is the meaning. That's what I want you to interpret in your mind. Whatever you're thinking about network marketing, this is not that. Meaning, I can document. I can literally show you number for number how if anybody decides not to do this business, they are defaulting into a worse status than if they do. Now, some of those other business, you got to sell a certain amount of shakes. You got to pitch a certain amount of phones for people to get a result. But if you can get a raise from your job, or if you can narrow your debt window, or if you can get your bills lower, even if you haven't built a team yet, you're still winning. Put that in your notes.
Yes.
We win when we get started. We win when we get started. And by getting started the right way, we have a story that we can share. And if we stay plugged in, we can learn about the stories of other people so that we can leverage their stories as well. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So let's talk about the rest of the document. So when we decide to go to work in this business, so we're going to add, just in your imagination, if you added 3 30-minute segments to your day, that's an hour and a half, yes?
Yes.
Where you are going to do exposures, take advantage of the education, learn from the training videos, the Financial Success University, Financial Edge University, and put the experts to work on your behalf. But at the same time, you're going to take the explanations out and you are going to put your emotions in park until after business hours. Is that okay? Anybody have to compartmentalize for work?
Yes.
It's the same thing. Now, here's an important question for you, and I do want you to take some time with this and make a number that stretches you. Too often, people get this document in their hands and don't commit to paper. They say in the book, they say take the vision, make it plain, and write it on tablets so that men may run when they see it. Does that make sense? We're not trying to walk into this thing. I want you to understand, what amount of money are you willing to work to make this business meaningful and worthwhile for you? And more important than that, why? Does that make sense? And put this in your notes. Put some thought into this and some emotion behind it, because if it's a real reason, here are the qualifications. Your why, the reason that you're building for, it doesn't actually fit on that line. You probably have to turn the paper over and write in expository terms. Expository just means as you start writing, the ink gets blurred with tears. But here's how you know it's your why. It's bigger than you. It's bigger than any money. And it's emotional to you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Make sure that you write that. Like, I know people are like, you're taking an awful lot of time on this top line of the business, but the top line is what makes the rest of it come together. Now, in our personal situation, Chuck and I are still working hard, diligently, to retire our mother. Yes? We know exactly what number amount is required for that. We know exactly what we are doing to supplement her income so that she has a fixed income. And I'm not talking about fixed a certain amount that comes. I'm talking about permanently repaired. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now, I don't know how y'all feel about y'all's mamas, but we got the best mama. And for all that she's done for us, we owe it to her to have her be able to retire with dignity. Does that make sense?
Amen. Yes. Yes, it does.
And I'm not going to keep talking about that because I can see that my eyes are getting sweaty, but I know what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Makes sense.
So when somebody asks me a question, I got answers for questions. But behind any question they ask me is, what is their opinion going to do for my mama?
Right.
And if it doesn't help, it's not necessary. I just move on to the next person because my why is more stronger than the lie that they are telling me. Make sense?
Yes.
So find a number for you. And whatever it is, this is the most important thing about the number. I wanted to stretch you a little bit. Like if you could get that number from working some extra hours at your job, you know what I found? People will go back to the devil they know and work some more extra hours at their job before they go work their business. So find that thing, find that number and write it down. And if you bold, you can tell me, I'll hold you accountable for your number.
$10,000 a month.
$10,000 a month for Pia McClain.
$250,000 a year.
$250 a year is $12,000. It's $12,100 a month. Who is that? Who had the $250K?
Gwendolyn Dotson, $15,000 a month.
$15,000 a month for Gwen Dotson. Who had $250 a year?
Deshaun Wright checking in, $250,000.
So make sure you break your numbers down to monthly, because with daily pay, you got to divide by 30. I mean, you got to divide by 12, then divide by 30.
So let's make it an even number then. Let's do $13,000 a month.
Okay. $13,000 a month. I'll show you what that is in the comp plan when we get past the basics. All right. Who else?
$30,000 a month, minimum.
$30K per month. I love that. That's $1,000 a day. I know exactly where that is in the comp plan. It's in my current target list. But here's what I want to make sure. Did you write that on your paper? Does everybody have that written number on their paper sent to their sponsor? Now, here's the most important question, 2 questions that I ever ask somebody when we get started in business together. How many hours per week can you work to get to that $13,000 a month?
Many as I need to.
How many hours?
Whatever.
No, I mean, I need a number.
Till you hit your number.
But I need a number. How many hours a week are you willing to expose? Because that's what happens. The higher your number gets, the more exposures you need to facilitate.
Mm-hmm.
Do you hear me?
Yeah.
Money Club, they in there getting told. I give you a preview of what happens when you get in the Money Club. Is we show you how to write your paycheck. And the way that you write your paycheck is quality exposures. Does that make sense?
Makes a lot.
Exposures. Exposures is how you make more money in MWR. The experts help you save money in MWR. That's how you get the money that you're making back. When it gets time to make more money, exposures is the key. And we're going to talk about strategies to get into the exposure mode. But now that you have your number, write down realistic. I want you to take a tally of all the things in your life right now. How many hours a week do you work your job? How many hours a night do you sleep? Right? I'll tell you up front, it's 168 hours in a week. So the math says if you work 48 hours a week, if you work 40 hours a week, that leaves you with 128 hours that are non-work hours. If you sleep 8 hours a night, let's call it 8 hours a night times 7, that's 56. Still leaves you with, after work and sleeping, just under 100 hours. What's that exact math? Who can tell me what's 128 minus 56? Who's got a calculator handy? My phone is over there. Come on. Somebody can do some math. Somebody do math. 72 hours. So if you work 40 hours and sleep 8 hours a night, you got 72 hours left in a week. How many of you are committed to some social activities? Well, matter of fact, let's add in some time for commuting. Let's say you commute an hour a day, 5 days a week, right? Yeah. So that's 10 more hours that are commuting. So now you got 62 hours left. Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Say you have a very active marriage and you got to leave time for relations. 2 hours a day.
You're so good.
Absolutely, sir.
2 hours a day. Every day. That's 14 hours, yes?
Okay. I'm committing to 20.
Yeah.
I'm committed to 20 hours a week to create a 12,000 a month return, and possibly within the 6 to 9 to 12 month period.
Brilliant. I love it. Specificity is how you build a business schedule, meaning the rocks that are in your life still have to pay the place that they play right now. But I want you to make a commitment to you and to me. How many hours a day are you willing to do this? And for how long will you do it to get to your goal? Does that make sense? Yeah. Ideally, this is what I tell people. Most of the people in the Money Club do about an hour, maybe 2 hours, 5 days a week in business, right? This is one of those 2 hour blocks, right? Sean Hill has a training. He had to do it because his life was hectic when he got started. We both were trying to figure out how to do this business 5 hours a week, 1 hour a day. But whatever it is, I want you to be committed to your business and make sure that that hour that you commit does business things. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So with the first hour, planning. Most effective way to execute on this business is to plan on paper. My mentor taught me, he said, Richard, write the things down that you're committing to do, because 10 things on a piece of paper take up way less time and energy than 10 things on your mind and increase the odds of 10 things getting done. That's why our roadmap is set up as a set of things that anybody can accomplish in a day. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
So first hour is our planning hour. Now the second hour, this is what I want you to make sure that you're doing. If you're new and have not set up every aspect of your membership yet, over the course of the next week, by the time we get back here, I want you to have checked every one of these boxes. Now, how many boxes is this? Count them with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
9 boxes.
9.
9 boxes, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So a box a day would get this done. But you know what I figured out? You can do all this stuff in about an hour.
Right.
Because here's my short-term goal. If you're new on this line, I want you to be our next rising star. Even if I haven't met you, I want you to be our next rising star. Why? Because we always need new stories, and you need a result that you can show people. When you get started in this business, if we set the short-term goal of building a team of 5 business partners, that'll get you 2 things: $150 a month and $150 in extra bonuses. You'll make $300 on your investment of $150. Now, Deshaun, is that a good story already?
Yes.
I mean, if you started at 150 and you're already making,
You better believe it
300,
is. You better
and
believe
the
it
business
is.
is self-funding, you're already winning. So I don't care what anybody thinks about network marketing, or is it MLM, or is it one of them things? Look, one of them things paid me 200% on my money in 4 days.
Numbers don't lie.
I'm just saying.
The numbers don't lie.
This has nothing to do with my feelings. It doesn't have to do with my emotions. We talking about the numbers, because once you get those numbers, once you got 3 to 5 players running with you, when you get to 15 total QFDs in the network in the right places, now you're at $20 a day. That's $600 a month. And here's what we're chasing: the Comma Club, 40 members right around there puts you at $1,200 a month. And when, listen to me, $1,200 won't retire you, will it?
Nope. No.
$1,200 probably won't retire anybody on this line. But here's what's true: if you're making an extra $1,200 residual, that is powerful, because now you got a comma in your life that comes no matter who comes and goes.
Yes, sir.
That makes sense.
Got that right.
Yes.
And so your first assignment is just put the experts to work on your process. With the day that you signed up, it happens almost 40 seconds after you sign up, you get an email from Global eWallet for getting your MWR card. That's what I've learned. People, you say, I didn't get an email from MWR. No, it came from Global eWallet. Search for Global eWallet and go sign up so that they can send you your MWR pay card. That also activates your account, lets you set up your automatic transfers. My firm recommendation to everyone is to sign up for a percentage of your money to stay on the card so that you can flex when you go out.
I love it. I love it.
I'm just gonna say it's a lot easier to sponsor people when we talking over lunch on the card that the company paid me on, and I'm taking a picture of the receipt that I'm gonna write off whatever you say.
Write off saying nothing to mess.
Simple flexes, simple flex. All right, the second thing, now we gotta adjust this number. I'll set up a new blueprint. I want you to schedule 2 grand openings. I want you to have a private Zoom and something in your living room. If you are not immune compromised, listen, right now we have the cure that everybody's looking for. People all over the country are coming to the reality. Things that we used to think about home business and the type of people that would do home business, it's just not true the same way. When we get into inflationary times, meaning the inflation rate is what it is right now, people don't have income control the way they used to. Am I making sense?
Yes.
Yes.
So think about it. For me, right now, adding an extra $3,000 to our budget per month with a $50 overhead, it's like if somebody had a great part-time job, except we don't. Except the difference is they paid us every day when we were in Puerto Vallarta last week. You hear me?
Must be nice.
They paid us every day when we were in Paris, and we were able to write off going to Paris.
Jesus.
That's awesome. Awesome. Awesome.
We're going to feel a certain kind of way about this as we go, because once you get started, the membership section, those 2 steps. Now, how do you schedule a private Zoom? Get together with the person that sponsored you and either their sponsor or their sponsor. We are blessed to have a wealth of cold-blooded presenters in our team.
Oh, yes.
They say you attract what you are. We were presenting before we got here, so we kept presenting and finding people who could put it down on your behalf. What you do is find a place that works on your schedule and the expert schedule, 2 days. So say, for example, you got started today. Between now and next week, you want 2 events, 1 in person and 1 virtually. So say we do Saturday at 3 at the house and Thursday at 7. The one at the house is for the people that would normally come to your house.
Right.
With me? The one on Zoom is for people that it's not reasonable for them to get to your house. Does that make sense? You get together with the expert and they'll walk you through a process. As a matter of fact, when I'm done with this part of the overview, I'll walk you through the words that work to make sure that more people show up in your Zooms and in your living room, so you don't have to make it up. You don't have to guess. I'm not holding you responsible for something you haven't learned. Is that fair?
Yes.
All right, so next step. Now that we've gotten the basics out of the way, you've opened up and said to the universe, this is how I want you to pay me. That's why this is the first step for us. Y'all like that, don't you?
Yes.
This is where the money this is where the money will go. And this is the activity that I'm going to do to start putting money in that account. Now, the next thing you need to do to get ready for your grand opening is put the experts to work. So when we pause for testimony, the other team members can tell their story, but what's going to be most impactful to your guests is your story.
Yes.
So every step, tax reduction, hurdler, bill negotiation, these are actually in the document in the order that they show up on your website. So when you go to your website and click on my membership, so that everybody, when you get started, does everybody know their login, know how to get to their website?
Yes.
And so under my membership, who wants to reduce my taxes?
Me.
Say reduce my taxes, and then click on the buttons and act like you really do. You click the button, and then it said, oh, let me log in, not as Nikki, I've got to log in as me. Hang on. Our documents, we had one membership, but we added another one. We figured out we could get 2 checks. Anybody like 2 checks at the house?
Oh, yeah.
That's Nikki's membership. Nikki, by the way, is at $20 a day. If you ever meet her, tell her congratulations.
Definitely will.
All right. So Rick, there we go. All right. So when you log into your website, it'll have the business section first. If you're brand new, you'll have a countdown clock that tells you how far into your 30 days. And we're aggressive about using all 30 to get you the momentum bonus. Yes?
Yeah.
And then down below, when it's time to use the membership, you just click the link and follow the instructions. Now, I used to spend a lot of time teaching people this process because in our previous version, this was kind of difficult to figure out, wasn't it, Pia?
Yeah.
But all the new people, you have the benefit of 2.0 and our learning experience. So they have a combination of videos and quick links. You click right here. They ask you some questions. After you answer the questions, you upload some documents. What documents do you upload? Well, let's see. It says if you were married filing joint, you upload your tax return right here. And you upload the pay stubs for yourself or your spouse if you're married. Pretty simple, right?
Right.
Once that upload is done, you wait 24 hours, but you're now in a position to go check this box. Now, here's what I urge. Check the box. Check the box and send a copy every time you check a box to your sponsor. There's a response called dopamine. Does everybody know the completion hormone?
Nope.
Oh, for those of you that don't know, there's a hormone in your brain that is designed to make you feel good when you do something you said you would do. When you check the box, it triggers that hormone and triggers you to do the next thing that needs to happen. But once you check that first box, you get your taxes reduced. By the way, this is the low-hanging fruit, but the big deal in this business is hurdler. You go back to your same website and go to the next tab over. Everybody say next tab over.
Next
tab over.
Home business deductions. Now, the Hurdler app, it's a platform. There's both a part that's on the website and a part that happens on your phone, but it says step 1, access now. When you click this button, it's going to set up a Hurdler user for you by the email address you put in. Now, caution, when you click this button, you won't see anything happen on the screen, but it will have sent you an email. Does everybody understand? Click that button and then look for an email to the address that you put in here. It needs to match your MWR account. If it doesn't match, it won't create a user for you because Hurdler is actually expensive if you don't have an MWR membership. Everybody got it?
Got it.
Yes.
Got it. All right, so next up, what's next on the list? Who can tell me what's next on the list?
Bill negotiation.
Bill negotiation. So what do we do to lower my bills? We click lower my bills, and then we go follow the steps for bill negotiation. Want you to now it's going to ask you to upload a copy of each one of the bills that you can get reduced. Now I know for sure here, it'll tell me this address is already registered. And what we'll look at is, wait, I was trying to show you my previous orders. Because with Bill Shredder, I uploaded every one of the bills: natural gas, cable, internet, TV, phone. I don't have a satellite radio bill, but I do have security and pest control. Do you know how, of the bills that I uploaded, Elaine, how many they were able to save me money on?
Was it 5?
Put this in your notes. All of them.
Oh.
All of them. There was not one bill that they could not save me money on. They did have to wait a couple of months for my contract status with Verizon. But do you know what they told me? We're going to have to re-enter this negotiation in 3 months. And in 3 months, they said, it's time for us to go negotiate with Verizon. We were just sending you an email to let you know we on the case. But if you put the experts on the case, they just better keeping track of things than me. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So you upload the bills. Now, some people ask a question. There's a place in there where they ask you for a credit card because our bill negotiators get paid by commission. They get a percentage of the savings that they earn you. Is that fair?
Yes.
Yes. That's why I think that's why they go so hard, because who will tell you, you put the bill in today, tomorrow they sending you an email like, we saved you $360 on your cable bill.
Woo.
And now you have a story to tell because they go to work. So if you start tonight, upload tonight, by the time we get to your grand opening Saturday afternoon at the crib at 3 or Sunday evening at 7, now we can have your testimony. And you know what'll close your guest faster than my testimony? Yours. That William Russell story, they waiting to hear it because they know you. You know what I'm saying?
Understood.
So as we go through, making sure everything that is in the membership, but like when you get into business, I hold you more accountable than my average customer. I know I have to hold their hands, but I want you to know your own business inside and out, so that when it's time to give testimonies, you've done everything that the membership allows you to do. Next on the list is what? What's next on the checklist? Who remembers? I mean, it's on your paper.
Debt elimination.
Debt elimination. Now, this is what I need y'all to make sure you do a good job of doing with debt elimination. By the way, of all of the membership components, you get your debt elimination result the fastest, because as soon as you finish entering it, it does the math. Does that make sense? How does that work?
Yes.
You go in, it says get started. They ask you some questions about your bills so that you get all of your bills into this debt-free lifestyle worksheet. Everybody see mine? Now y'all seeing all my business. It's my real life. That's the mortgage on the rental house. Got a bunch of student loans because we did the wrong thing when it comes to kids in college. And then we invested a little bit in our entertainment with that Hilton Grand Vacations. How many of y'all just like going out of town?
Yes, I do, because I'm leaving this weekend too again.
You gotta go. But here's what we do. Once you put that in, you add any additional margin that the cash flow has given you. In my case, I'll tell y'all a secret. This is exactly half of my increase in cash flow from the business, meaning the new money I make or the money they got me back in taxes, right? Half of it. The other half is going into my private reserve account. So I put half on accelerating debt, half into my investments to overcome inflation. That's just my strategy. You figure out what you want to do, but when you got free cash flow, you can make some things happen, right?
Yes. Yes.
And then you take that and you get your debt analysis. Now, here are the numbers that I want you to have handy. I want you to write them down. I want you to write them on your game sheet. It's going to give you a debt-free date and a millionaire date. It's going to put those on the top. But when it comes to our team and our testimonies, this part right here in the middle is more important to me. Like, do you see right here that if on my creditors plan, I was going to pay $363,000, Elaine?
Yeah.
But with the MWR plan, it'll be $136,000. That saves me, what's that? $227,000 in interest. And 17 years and 9 months in terms of payments. And then even more important is this blueprint. Like, you just got to be able to give people their before and after. Before MWR, in March of 2029, I'd still be $666,000 in debt. That's a devil's number, ain't it?
Yeah.
Straight from
But
the
using
pit.
the MWR plan, I'll have $50,000 of cash in the bank.
Wow.
Yes.
Matter of fact, just fast forward to the millionaire date. In the creditors plan, I still owe $100,000 in 2034. But I'll be a debt-free millionaire with the money this membership got me back and the money I make from helping other people get their money back. And that's, by the way, that's the conservative side. That's about only making 3% on the money. Right? In real life, my PRA, my private reserve account that I got through the wealth piece of our business, earned 12%, 14%, and 17% the 3 years I've had it. I've never had a return this low in MWR. I have all the time in my 401k, but that's a whole nother story. All right, questions about that process. Questions about what I want you to keep track of. Every time you get a result, I do want you to write it on your blueprint and send that to your sponsor so that when we ask for testimonies, people get intimidated and say, well, my pay raise wasn't that big. I only got back $250. Do you know how that sounds to somebody that didn't get $250 back on their paycheck? So I spent a little bit of extra time here because I hear people knowing that they had a website, but they hadn't gone in and put their stuff in. But we need your new voices on these Zooms. And especially once we get in the living room, your friend's going to be looking at you saying, well, what did it do for you?
Right, right.
Last but not least, you got the credit restoration. It's a free part of the membership. And I recommend it is an extra $20 to get this smart credit report monitoring system. But here's the advantage. Now you have a way that you can show specifically what happened for you and your credit based on using the membership. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So that you can see, here's your ups and downs. Here's where we bought a whole lot of stuff last week. I got to go clean that up. But I started low 700s. We refinanced a mortgage, got up to 810, bought a car, vacation home, and some other stuff. It dropped down into the 7s, but then took it right back to the top. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you get all of the individual things so that you can boost your score. You get to be in control. You can look at your balances and know that if I spend an extra $30,000, that's going to drop my score to a 770. But if I pay off this $6,000 balance, I'll add another 3 points, be back in the 800s. Make sense? Credit under control is what our credit restoration gives us. Now, those boxes, you can check all of them today. It's a simple process, but every time you check a box, take a picture, send it to your sponsor, but also high five yourself. Congratulate you for doing things to get yourself in control. Make sense?
Yes.
Wealth accumulation is the third step in the process. I advise people, you make sure that you've done all the other steps before you schedule your wealth consultation, because it will answer some of the questions that the wealth advisors will have for you to schedule the appointment. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And then the most important thing, make sure that you're registered for the next 2 trainings. There are 2 trainings that are front and center. First, just the boot camp here in Atlanta. It's going to be hands-on. It's going to be intensive, and you will know more than most people know about network marketing in that day. We do a good job of basic training. Does that make sense?
Yes.
That is June 30th here in Atlanta. I think it's $30. And then September 17th and 18th. Who knows what's happening September 17th and 18th?
Vegas.
Las Vegas, baby.
17th and 18th, the first MWR national event outside the city of Atlanta is in Las Vegas. And on September 18th, your boy turns a half century old. So it's going to be some additional celebration. We're figuring out something to do, but we want to make sure that we in Vegas and we represent strong. All right. Now that was a lot of time on making sure that you get started. Now show of hands. Oh, Saul, is that Saul Salazar? Did you have a question? I mean, we did separate you out from all the expert big kids so that you could feel comfortable asking your questions as a new person in this Zoom. Any questions? No questions? All right, so now we come to the most important part, because once you check those boxes and get that out of the way, you free yourself up to get in the money game, meaning we're gonna fill up these boxes right here. 5. Everybody say 5 and drive.
5 and drive.
5 and drive. I know in the compensation plan with 3, you qualify for the momentum bonus and you qualify for daily guarantee pay if you got 3 and 1. Everybody, wait, let me see your faces so that we're looking at the same thing. 3 and 1, 3 and 1. 3 business partners, 1 customer. That's the formula for daily guaranteed pay, $5 a day. That's the base level. Yes. But
Yes.
3 and 3. Everybody do 3 and 3.
3 and 3.
3 partners, 3 customers. When you get 3 customers, 3 people that are members, your membership is free. So instead of $150 a month, your business is $50 a month.
Yes, I love it.
So if you're making $150 a month, but it only costs you $50 a month to be in business, you're making $100 a month already, right?
Yes,
We don't
and
want
I-
to stop there. We want to get good. Now, somebody's got to be asking themselves, how do I get people in the Zoom and on the living room? Somebody ask that so that it won't be just me asking it.
How do I
How
get
do
people
you get people on a Zoom and in the living room?
Let me introduce everybody to the words that work if you don't have access to them. Now, depending on who your sponsor is, you were either introduced to the Power Builders MWR Facebook group or the Project 100 group. You might even be a member of both. The same words are in the same place, but you'll know it's us because we look like this. Everybody seen it? Wait, am I sharing my screen? No, I'm
We
not
see
sharing my
you,
screen.
Mr. Richard.
You only see me. That's us.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. See there goes Tia Glenn right there. I see Etna. This is from one of our in-person events. This was at Game Changer a couple of months ago. But the main areas to focus on when you're new are the guides. There's a section right here at the top called guides. Everybody say guides.
Guys.
If you got Facebook going in another window, don't start chatting or liking other people's stuff. I'm just sending you here to look at this. As a matter of fact, hang on. I think I can put the link to the group in the chat for those. Is everybody on here a member of Power Builders MWR or Project 100? Do you know where to get the words at work?
Yes.
Yes. Arlene, yes.
Yes.
Not Project 100.
You only need one. Don't try to double up. It's the same words. We copy off each other's paper real well.
Perfect.
All right, now here's the plays. If you're a new person, or if you're a person that's getting started brand new again, like me, here's how this works for you. When you get started, you'll get a welcome text from your sponsor or their sponsor with these instructions. Do these words seem familiar? It says, welcome to Power Builders Project 100 movement. Watch these videos and print this document. This is where you should have gotten the roadmap from. Has anybody seen that?
Yes.
Matter of fact, and then once you print those things, you're ready to move to guide 2, schedule 2 grand opening private Zooms or profit parties this week. Now, the way that the guide works, when you click on the guide, at the top are the instructions, right? It tells you step for step and word for word what to do the way that we said to, but I want to act this out with some people on the line. Is that okay?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so the first step, who sees what it says there? What does it say to do first?
Schedule 2 grand opening within 48 hours of and 7 days of today.
Now that goes hand in hand with the check sheet, yes?
Yes.
And why do you need 2? This is the psychology of human beings. It's called alternative choices. Everybody got that in your notes? Alternative choices. Meaning if you give a human being a choice over anything, they'll choose to do something. But if you only give them one choice, they can't do it. Right. So I got a grand opening at my house this Saturday at 3 p.m. I got the top income earner in the country coming to my house. He makes no less than $1,000 a day. That's $30,000 a month to share his secrets for creating wealth. Would you like to come hear what we're doing? Man, when is your next one? My fish got swimming lessons.
Wow. Wow. That's the truth though.
But that's like my wife cooking cabbage. Like somebody literally told me, my wife cook, she not gonna be there when you get back. Like cabbage better not right out the pot. You gotta let it sit for a minute, get the spices in there. Well, anyway. My point, if you have two, I got something in person at the house, small group of people at 3 on Saturday or virtually on Zoom on Sunday, which one of those works better for your schedule? They'll pick one. Does that make sense? And here's the mentality.
Yes.
Because this is what I'm doing, because my business is exposure, it's always two things coming up on my calendar. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So
Yes.
first step is schedule two. How do you schedule two? Oh, let me help you avoid the rookie mistake. When I first got started in the business, I would try to find out what time worked best for all my guests and then go ask the expert. Put this in a note to yourself. That's not how you do business.
All right.
Businesses establish their office hours. You already looked across your day. You got 40 hours that you're working. You got 10 hours that you commute. You got 56 hours that you're sleeping, and you got 10 hours for relations. You don't have time to match up with their schedule. You got to match up with your schedule. You got a lot to do. Find 2 times that work for you and your expert, and then invite the people to the times that you have available. It's amazing how if you put the structure in place, people will conform to your schedule.
Yes.
That makes sense?
Yes.
So now that you have your Zoom scheduled, you want to list at least 20 people that you can invite to learn about income shifting at your grand opening. Now, where do you put those 20 people? You put them on page 2 of your roadmap. Does everybody see this?
Yes.
This is the structure for your $1 Million Power Hour. And if I could do anything to save you time, I tell you to sort faster, but think slower. What do you mean, Richard? All of us know thousands of people. If you're an adult in America, you've met 2,500 people minimum, even if you're shy, because I am. I'm shy. Y'all know I'm shy, right?
Never do.
Okay, I'm at least a shy brother. How about that? Can I sell you that one? Will you buy that from me? Do you believe?
No.
Okay. Well.
Okay.
Whatever. Okay. But
You be dancing with everybody. You ain't shy.
These are facts. So this dance, I'm not shy about dancing. You got to move. You got to have a good time. But here's what I want you to do. Start that list. And I want you, rather than pressuring yourself to say, who are the 20 people that are going to do this? Start in groups of 5. I want you to write down 5 friends, 5 family members, 5 people that are part of your organization, and 5 people that are your spouse's friends. That's 20, right? 4 groups of 5. Now, why do I say to do that? Here's why. Once you think of a person, that association will tell you more people in that category, and it keeps you from having to filter. But here's what I got to encourage you to do. Don't do God's work. You know, it's 2 categories of work in the world, yes?
Yeah.
There's our work.
Yes.
There's the other person's work, and there's God's work. Our work is to list everybody we know and invite them to learn. Put that in your notes. I don't even care. I don't know if you can tell. How many of you can tell Sean doesn't really care if people get into business?
Right.
He likes it. He likes for people to get into business, but he's excited about them learning about the business. Take on that attitude. Just be excited. I just want you to know what we're doing and how it's helping us, and for you to help me help some other people, even if it's not you. Make sense?
Yes.
So that's our work, is inviting people, giving them a quality invitation and a quality exposure. Their work is deciding that now that they've learned something different, are they going to do something different?
Okay.
And God's work is just making sure the 2 of you are connected. So everybody can mind their own business, right?
Yes.
We're not going to decide for them that, oh, they make a lot of money, they're not going to do this business. Put this in your notes. People that make a lot of money suddenly learn they really need someplace to hide some money.
That's true.
Like,
That's
yeah, I
very
saw this
true.
business. I made more money I ever made in my life. And the IRS was trying to get your boy. Fortunately, I had some experts helping me with a tax strategy to keep more of my hard-earned money. But when a person goes on the list, when you invite them, that's the peak, right? We're going to track them through all phases of the process. Is everybody hearing me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I know what happens. Sometimes I remember my friend Will introduced me to one person in the business, right? This is when we first got started. Will only introduced me to one person. He said, if Bertrand sees this thing, man, we going to the next level. Bertrand saw it. He liked it okay, but he didn't get started. Will was still asking me about that one person. I said 20, Will, 20. It's the law of large numbers. Some will and some won't right now. Like Sean Hill was on my first list of 20. We started in November of 2019. Sean Hill started in June of 2020. We were friends the whole time. He just had to see how this was going to work out for us. Does that make sense? So when does somebody come off your list? When does somebody come off your list?
Never.
When somebody come off your list, somebody's getting promoted, somebody's getting paid.
Well, my answer to when somebody comes off your list is when you attend their funeral. If they die, they can't get in. It's too late. They missed it. Now, am I saying you call the same people every day? No. Just cycle back and check up on people over time. That follow-up kicks in. That's how you professionalize your business. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
So every time we got paid or promoted, we say, Sean, you really need to see this, man. I think the way that you understand comp plans and people, it'll be good for you. Finally, it was the right time and he was in. All right. Where were we on our guide? So we got our list of 20 people. Now, what do we do first? We got to write the list down. Yes.
Yes.
And then the reason I ask if you had it printed and beside you, when you're new, your first 30 days in this business, you should have one of these, this whole packet with you within 3 feet of your body the whole time. Right? When we invite them. Now, what do we say to invite? Let me show you a way. The first thing it says is text or call them and chat with them and catch up briefly. Everybody say that right there.
Briefly.
Text or call them and catch up briefly.
Briefly. Why do I say briefly?
Because you don't have a lot of time.
Well, you're trying to invite 20 people to an event that's happening in the next 2 days to 1 week. So all you got to do is divide backwards by time. Your average call needs to be in that 5 to 10 minute zone. But how many of you have them friends? Well, you call them and next thing you know, you look up, it was 3 hours later. You ain't got no work done. Dinner ain't ready.
That's a lot of catching up.
It's too much catching up. So it's got to be brief, man. Listen, you on my mind. I want, things have been good. Children are grown and gone. We've been doing great over here. And during this pandemic, we actually found out a way to add an income stream to our lives. Have you ever heard of income shifting? So that's your transition. When you're done catching up, you transition with this phrase right here. So the instruction is followed with this comment. Listen, I've added another stream of incomes recently. Have you ever heard of income shifting? Everybody practice saying that. Say, have you ever heard of income recent? Have you ever heard of income shifting? Have you ever heard of income shifting? Have you ever heard of income shifting? Now, Andres, you're new, so I'm gonna pick on you. Is that okay? All right, so you asked me, have you ever heard of income shifting? Oh, you're on mute. I can tell you're saying it though. And it looks like he has a good chest resonator. I think it's gonna be a deep voice when it comes in.
Yep. Have you ever heard of income shifting?
No. What is it?
I don't want to mess it up. So let me get you in touch with one of my good friends that has the full knowledge on it.
Good deflection. Good job. Who's your sponsor, Andres? I'm telling you over here doing good in the new kid.
Tanisha Sanchez.
Tanetica from Connecticut. Okay. All right. So here's the thing. There's only 3 categories of responses that you're going to get when you ask somebody if they've ever heard of income shifting. Response number 1 is no. Response number 2 is no, what is it? And response number 3 is, oh, hell. You're going to get all 3 of those answers. I just want you to, I want to set you up for success. Now, what's most likely no or no, what is it? Now, our script does prepare you so that you can say a little bit without saying too much, because the next response is this. Everybody see it on my screen?
Yes.
Make sure when you go to the group, you copy and paste these so you already have them ready in your phone, because the answer is everyone should learn these strategies that put more of your money back into your pocket so that your money can make you more money. What is income shifting? Man, listen, everybody should learn these strategies that move more of your money back into your pocket so your money can make you more money. And that's it. Don't explain any further past that. Any further past that, Elaine, you might be doing too much.
It's true. Very true.
And it's easy to get in the trap of doing too much, because it's kind of like being a new Christian. Y'all know when people go to church the first time and then they don't know how to act, they got to tell everybody. The pastor said this. Let me get my notes out. Come on, sit down. Let me pray over you in tongues. Wait. Slow, small pieces, enough to solve their curiosity, but not to try to explain the whole thing. Does that make sense? So I want you to practice that phrase so that you have it ready. So the next time, Andrew, somebody asks you, no, what is it? You can say, man, listen, everyone needs to learn these strategies to put more of your money back in your pockets so your money makes you more money.
Right.
But this is the best blessing of being new. Like sometimes I mess around and pretend I'm still new, Elaine. I'm working with the Michael Jordan of income shifting. Yes, especially if somebody that's my close friend, because they're judging the past me. Now, new people that I met, I'm an expert at this, and they never knew me as anything else. But like my frat brothers that saw me dancing with a lampshade back in the day at Duke, I can't be the same kind of expert to them. Does that make sense? So it all depends on the relationship. But the next line is I'm actually learning from, I go with, make sure it's gender correct. So the Michael Jordan of income shifting, or the Oprah Winfrey of income shifting, an appropriate celebrity name, just to know that you're going to introduce them to a star, right? Mr. Russell has been sharing these strategies with a ton of people, and he'll be having an income shifting conversation with a group of my family and friends Saturday at 3 at the crib. Can you come by and learn with us? Matter of fact, I need you to bring me a bag of ice.
Give him a job.
Not a job to do. Man, if you don't bring that ice, it's gonna be a lot of people in here with warm drinks. Oh, by the way, at your profit party, before the conversation, I mean, y'all can already tell we all enjoy adult beverages, yes? But the worst guest you can have at a profit party is somebody that is liquored up. They just in there just mad and angry and happy and crying at the same time. They just messing up the vibe.
Wow.
So for your profit party, the one that you have at the house, I do suggest your beverages be like Sprite and water. Why? They're clear. And for whatever reason, you mess around and have somebody have Kool-Aid at your profit party, and they put it on that alpaca. Now they can't do income shifting. They can't do no business. Nobody can ever come back to the house. But if it's simple, water, Sprite, clear fluids, chips, keep it basic. That way it can duplicate. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right. Now, it's 9:15. I got to get off. So now here's what happens. You put in the times that you're offering, right? And then you send the invitation, right? You send the invitation, and then the last thing you do is you let them know that you're going to put us together in a three-way chat. Hey, how are you, Mr. Harden? Please meet my prospect, Carolyn. She's looking to learn more about income shifting with us on Saturday at 5 p.m., right? Now, I'm in turn. Now, what happens once it's a three-way with an expert in the text thread? Put this in your notes. Now you got help. Let me show you something. Hang on. Oops. All right, I'm back. I'm gonna show you one thing. I'm gonna leave room for questions, and then I'm gonna get out of here. Is that okay?
Yes.
All right. So if we think about this
is a text thread for a guest.
Yes, the last line of it. So that person has said Saturday at 3 p.m. works for me, right? You with me, Elaine?
Yeah, but you got 20 people you're trying to line up, and you as the sponsor wants to have 20 texts for 20 guests. Really? I'm missing something.
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Woohoo.
Well, let me show you why though. And it's in this way. Let me join from my phone. Because it's all about expectation and accountability, right?
Okay.
Am I in the waiting room? I don't know why my phone can't join Zoom. I was just going to show, because now you got the power. It's the same effect that you have when you schedule a dentist appointment. They make the appointment with you, yes?
Yes.
I know a lot about going to the dentist because I go every month right now. These braces, they keep me in the chair. But there's a young lady named TJ where all she does is send. Let me give you the picture of how it worked the last time I went to the dentist. At the dentist, I made the appointment. It's for Tuesday. That's tomorrow. Yes. They saw me putting it in my phone, gave me a printed card with the appointment. But by the time I got down to my car, I had a text message confirming my appointment. Right. Last Tuesday, I had a reminder that you got a dentist appointment next Tuesday. And then today I got the form to fill out to come in the building because, you know, COVID restrictions, right? Now, why is that? Dentist time is very expensive. So they don't have time for empty chairs. Same thing with your private Zoom. And especially if we drive into your living room, I'd much rather copy and paste the same 20 texts that say, great to meet you, Elaine. You couldn't be introduced to income shifting by a better person than Carlise Bradford. I'm looking forward to meeting you at her grand opening profit party this Saturday at 3. Now, are you coming? Are you driving together or are you driving separately? All right, well, I'm looking forward to meeting you. So that now she's told 2 people that she's coming. It just increases the odds of them showing up. And the more people show up, the more people get in.
Okay.
I mean, because how many of you have some friends that are flaky?
Woo!
Yep. More than not.
And that's the nature of y'all's relationship. Meaning they know if they tell you they coming and they don't, she gonna forgive me. She gonna count it to my head and not my heart. But she don't know about this Michael Jordan of income shifting.
Right.
So now that you have told me and Carlise that you're coming, just more likely to show up. So I don't think there's any expert on the line that if you send them that this person wants to participate in our private Zoom at 7 or in my profit party at the house at 3, we'd be glad to send that text. And that lets us know who's coming and what level of energy they bring. Make sense?
Yes.
Awesome. The good question. But that's one of the things that we got to start doing is taking advantage of our ability to work together. Because after the Zoom, now we have the option. You can do the follow-up. So there's a whole set of threads, and let me show you these things, and then I will pause for questions because I am over our new agreement on time. I don't know if y'all get the feeling. We love what we do, and we love equipping people to succeed. There are a series of featured conversations in our Zoom. So the other thing that you need to do as a new person is start a social media campaign today. That's guide number 4. See it right there? And you put this meme on Facebook or Instagram or whatever platform you're on. How many of you have run this play? Wait, let me see. Let me come out so that I can see whose hands are up.
I have.
Elaine, Gwen, Tia. Okay. What did you notice when you put the meme up?
People look.
I'm not responsible.
A lot of looks.
Very few comments.
Okay. Well, and it's the thing. What I found, because I try to do a campaign every day or every other day. I put something up inspirational in the morning. I have a fun life, so I put something up about what we're doing. And then I hang a billboard that says some version of I teach people how to do income shifting. And when they reply me, what I've noticed, at least in my social media, a lot of the people that have become my customers and my business partners through the meme are not necessarily the people I would think to invite to the house. Matter of fact, some of them, do y'all have that feature where some people When they comment, you have to look up and see who we have in common. Like, I don't even know how we got to be friends.
Right.
So that gives you a way to extend your list outside the people you would think of. Now, when anybody replies, make sure their name goes on the list, even if you don't have their phone number yet. Because that's somebody that's willing to say out loud, I'm interested in being in a private group that talks about these things. And they might not have been your best friend. You might not know them well, but you got to know who to start paying attention to.
Got it.
All right. Other questions? Now, there are all kinds of guides on here. I don't want to belabor this conversation because if we can master these two things, every day, putting ourselves in a position, we got a list of 20 people that we're inviting to something that we're controlling as an exposure, right? I just tell you now, more people get in faster from a small Zoom than get in from a big Zoom. That's our numbers. That's what we see. If I know that we've had three-way conversations and confirmations with all these people, those are the ones that are coming expecting to get in versus coming to see what is it. Does that help?
Yes, it does.
All the expectation is adding value, because you got two choices, right? When you invite people to Zoom, you could send them a Zoom link. Yes?
Yeah.
You could just send them the link to Zoom and be like, well, here's the link to the Zoom, be on at 7. But if you want to professionalize your invitation, I try to put the exact words that I send to my guests in my calendar invite so that people know. Let's see, what was this? So this is for Wednesday, right? So Wednesday at 7:30. Y'all see what it says? Join a conversation. It meets at, we're meeting at this time. Here's what we're focused on. Let's jump on 5 to 10 minutes early. And then text me, I'm in when you get in. And then at the end, gives them instructions, not just a link. Does that make sense?
Right.
Setting the expectation. This ain't no regular Zoom. We got things that we're planning to do. You need to be here early. Don't try to click the link at 7. We meet. I open every Zoom that I'm doing. Sean and Chuck have similar behavior. Even if I'm still driving to the place I'm going, I'll open that Zoom 15 minutes before it's time to start. Zoom is open for networking. Does that make sense? So show up early, get your cameras popping, and that's how we're going to get this business to growing and expanding our group.
Yes, sir.
So your guest gets that entire text.
Whole thing.
That you just, I've been doing it wrong.
What, you just been sending them a Zoom link?
I didn't send them everything. I just sent them the Zoom link and the time.
Right.
Oh, that could be why I'm getting the kind of responses I'm getting. And one question I have is, I think I missed something. I had to go get my customers' cake out the oven.
You make cakes for customers?
Yeah, baby, I have a home baked business. That's why
business.
I got this apron on, brother. I'm over here working 2 or 3 kind of things. But anyway, do we need to expose them twice before? You said something about a video. Videos are available on YouTube. And then we got the scheduled video, scheduled Zooms with you all. So should we send them a video before they get to the Zoom meeting?
So my preferred success cycle is invite them to something where I can see them.
So then they don't need any previous exposure then?
Not really.
No more than me, no more than me.
No more than you. I mean, especially if they know you, they trust you, and they like you. Like when you get started, the people on your list already know and like you, and they trust you, right? Okay. That's why their number's in your phone and your number's in their phone.
Okay.
Right. Now, I do like, especially people that are cold market, like the guy that serviced my house the other day, but was being interested in what I did as a financial educator. I sent him some videos from the YouTube channel, but then I'm still going to invite him to something I do.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Right. And then every time they say, yes, they want to come, then I do a 3-way text with my upline.
Right. And the words for it are right there. You know, it's that, it's that simple thing. I wanted to introduce you to, Carol. Mm-hmm. She's coming to join us for our Zoom on Saturday at 3.
Oh, that's another thing I was doing wrong. Okay. I'm so glad I'm here tonight because I didn't do that.
Well, and here's the thing. The blessing is you still had some results doing it the way that you were doing it. This just gives us more of a chance to work together and to have them know that beyond this being a Zoom that's happening at this time is serious, and we should come early, and there are instructions for what to do after.
Okay.
It's just setting the stage. Here is going to be some instructions with this.
Mhm. Gotcha.
Yep, it's
All right.
powerful.
All right.
All
All
right.
right. All right.
Uh-oh. Chuck, are you out of the money room or were you here the whole time? Oh, you muted.
I'm sorry. I'm not out the money room. I'm just bouncing back and forth. Come
Okay.
get a little bit over here, a little bit over there. You know what I'm saying?
All
See
right,
if anybody
well-
needs help or anything. I'm just floating from room to room, you know.
So I think we covered everything, and I don't want to overwhelm. If we get good at these two instructions, if you run a social media play so that your common market, sometimes it's just people I wouldn't have thought of. My last 3 customers are from the meme, and I could be writing lists for 20 years and I wouldn't have put Deborah Hamilton, Letty Spivey, or Tanilla Williams on my list. I ain't know them like that.
I have a question, Chuck. I mean, Richard, I'm sorry.
It
Richard.
happens all the
this is-
time.
This
Just make
is
sure
our,
to call him Richard a couple of times.
Now don't do that.
Richard
Now, come on.
y'all
Miss-
don't look like.
Miss
y'all don't
Wilson,
look
you
alike.
Hang in there.
Miss Wilson, you know he ain't this cute. Don't be trying to
Why you gonna throw me under the
Don't
bus
feel
like
bad.
that?
Don't
do
feel
that.
bad, young lady. I did the same thing.
I've been posting a meme just about every day, and I changed the background.
Good.
And I do the text thread, I do the response, I've been doing the calling, I've been doing 3-ways, I've been sending videos, I've been doing responses. People say they're gonna show up, I give them the 2 different times.
Mm-hmm. And
Nothing. Ghost.
well, something, right? Something. So it's always asking ourselves, what can we adjust, right?
Right,
And
right.
in most cases, it's a matter of posture and or volume.
Okay. Because I've
Meaning,
even had several people that have come to the Zooms, listen to it. I respond in a 3-way with the person, with the expert that's with me. It's either been Sean or Anita, and ask them what did they like. They tell me what they like. Then I respond back to them and say, are you a 1 or a 2? And then I'll wait a few days. I don't hear from 'em. I'll follow back up, but nothing.
okay. So wait. Let's see. Are you in the Power Builders MWR group?
Yes, I'm in Power Builders Millionaire and 300.
Okay, because as a matter of fact, we do what's called active troubleshooting, meaning things that you're running into, Arlene, you ain't the only one.
Okay.
Like I had somebody get ghost on me after they stalked me. Like they replied to 2 different memes.
Right.
And then when it was time to send me their phone number, they were like, oh, it's not a Facebook group. I was like, no, we a group.
Right.
We're actual group of people.
Right. I even had a person the other day was going to sign up, and something was off about the numbers on their card. So I was asking them if they would go back in and make sure, and I hadn't heard anything. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Well, Miss Ellen, I want you to, Miss Wilson, I want you to remember one thing all the time.
What?
Every single time. Our process is not designed to put people in.
Okay.
Our process is designed to weed people out.
Okay.
So if they don't get in or don't get started, that's good. They weeded themselves out.
Okay. Thank
because
you.
what we're looking for are quality people looking to do something different like you guys.
Okay.
You don't want everybody in your business.
Well,
you're right. You're right. You're right.
Team, because they will waste your time.
Okay. And I just got a something the other day I was gonna post. It's time to get rid of. Let me see. It's time to stop wasting your time on wasted people.
Right. So then it's the thing too. If they send them a text as if they're 1 or 2 and they don't respond, do you pick up the phone and make a phone call?
Sometimes.
All the time, pick up the phone.
Do. Right.
Okay, all the time. Okay.
That's why we get the cell phone number.
Okay. Okay.
Right. I mean, and that's an important thing. If you just think through, sometimes there's going to be follow-up. Like anybody that has a card issue at the time of payment.
Yeah.
Most of the time, that's the money. It's only $150.
Okay.
So you just let them know, hey, No problem. You know, if I was concerned about the money that you have right now,
Mm-hmm.
if I was, I mean, I'm not worried about the money you have. I'm worried about the amount of money you want to make. Now, here's
Right.
what's most likely. That's a person that's had a first exposure, but the second one is too far away.
What you mean?
Right? If we say most people need to see something 2 times, 2 different ways.
Right. She's seen it twice.
Saw it twice, she ready to go. Just need that extra nudge one more time, and
Okay.
just keep her on your follow-up list. Let her know.
Okay.
Like, did you see this guy right here? My fortune is in my follow-up.
Okay.
Have
Yes.
you seen it though?
Yes.
This is by the way, this document grows because this is just stuff that happens to us that we figured out what we were gonna say about it, right?
Okay.
So for example, has anybody ever been in a position where it's time for the Zoom to open, but your expert hadn't sent the message that the Zoom is open?
Okay. Yeah,
Like
we
if
do.
I-
I post that too.
You put it in a text thread?
Yes.
Okay. So in
And
the
we
text
put
thread,
we text them in the text thread with the
In the text
3-way
thread.
to let them know that the Zoom is open.
okay. And if my prospect is not on 1 minute before, I call them.
Okay.
Like, I don't know
Okay.
if y'all saw, I was on this 7 o'clock Zoom and my phone went black. Like if you're on your phone and you on Zoom, you just drop out of the Zoom for a minute. But call
Right.
your prospect because most likely life has gotten away. They knew they had something happening around 7.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
And then
Thank you.
wait, here's some other things. So I think you said this, right? After the income shifting conversation, if my guest was on, I send a text. You do that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if they choose cash flow only, sign them up.
Okay.
Sign them up. I'm in front of my computer. Are you? You want me to send you a text with instructions? You want me to do it for you?
Got you. Okay.
They used to take
Okay.
it. They always used to giving orders on the phone. Here you go.
So you kind of like passive aggressive.
I'm aggressive.
Oh.
I mean, what we being shy about? The worst
Okay,
thing that
got
can
you.
happen to them is already happening. They're
That's
already
true.
overpaying taxes.
That's true. That's true.
They bills already higher than they gonna be after they upload 3 documents.
Okay. Got you. Got you.
Like we got, like, well, I'm not. I take that back. I'm not aggressive. I'm like, you gonna sign up now, right? You gonna sign up? You gonna sign up? You gonna sign up? No.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
it's an actual process. I create a gauge, scale of 1 to 10. Are you at least 8 or higher? If they are 8 or higher, what number are you?
Mm-hmm.
You're 8. Okay. So usually the only difference between an 8 and a 10 is you got some questions.
Right.
Let's knock out those questions, and then I got a question for you. Right?
Okay.
They
Okay.
ask the questions. All right. So now on a scale of 1 to 10, did we bump you from an 8 to a 9? You know what'll probably seal the deal for you? You need to check in with us for Financial Edge University on Thursday. It's a different way to look at what we did.
Okay.
Like this Thursday on Financial Edge University, they doing the private reserve account.
Okay. Because I know there's another one coming up. They doing it on mortgages and stuff too.
Right. So last week they did the full membership. They did Bill Shred like that Thursday. By the way, that's that's one of the reasons that I don't typically have a Thursday presentation, because Thursday corporate, the experts are doing a different way of seeing the business.
Okay.
And that way
Gotcha.
you get a chance for them to see 2 different things, 2 different ways, but it's reinforcing it without it just being the same conversation. Videos do a
Gotcha.
similar effect.
Gotcha.
William had a prospect earlier that had been to a Zoom. Was it with me or with Chuck?
It was with Chuck.
And then the guy was excited. He was ready to get started.
Yeah.
Matt was ready to get started, but he had to go tell his wife. And you know what he did?
Tried to
He
explain
went
it.
explain it to his wife.
So
Y'all already know we had to do some repair work. But what we did
well,
was
just on it, I went ahead and did a little bit of repair work, as you said, and they're sitting tight, and he's gonna pull the trigger on this this week coming up. So I just mentioned that I'm gonna be doing my grand opening, possibly on Wednesday night at 7:30 to plug him into, and his wife, because they're both off work, and we're gonna get them signed up this week. But I utilized the text thread for any questions. I utilized the 3-way call immediately with Chuck which was rather pretty much a hard close. He closed himself.
He was already
So,
ready.
You know,
I mean, and
I'm
that's,
using, yeah.
I mean, I want everybody to get this fine point. William's very new, but get the fine point of when we work together, it's easier for us to close your guests than for you. Right. And it's not because we're better closers, it's that it's two of us. Is you, me, you and me, and the prospect instead of you versus the prospect, especially if y'all have been on the same level for most of your lives. All right. All good. All hearts and minds clear. I hate to leave with this quick. Oh, go ahead.
Just want to throw something in there. Most of the people that know me, okay, they know me, right? So, but, and what I would say may not resonate as much as what the expert would say. Now, those people respect me enough to listen.
That's
now,
all we
to
need.
close it, I need that expert. No matter how much I know or don't know, the expert is that Michael Jordan, is that Oprah Winfrey, that their ears are going to open up to.
Yep. And it reduces a subtle fear, right? What's the subtle fear that everybody in the world has, especially when they start this business? Subtle fear is somebody's going to reject them, right? Me, Chuck, Sean, Javon, we running out here taking the bullets for you. Like, they can't ask us nothing crazy that's going to shake my belief in how much money I make by getting my money back and helping other people get their money back. It's too late. Right? So leverage that expertise, leverage that posture. And then most importantly, let the people see you doing the process so that they know somebody will help them when they get started too. All right.
All righty.
All right. Well, I'm going to release y'all to Money Making Monday, late Monday night. Look like the Money Club's still in there. They must be going through it. I'm going in there and see what they're doing. What they talking about?
Well, thank you, Mr. Harden. I really appreciate the training. I learned a lot tonight.
It's my pleasure. So everybody remember what steps are we going to take this week? We're going to start. And once we start, we're going to share and we're going to stay plugged in. Stay plugged in, make sure that you get the words that work off the website and get them in your phone. Like practice texting them back and forth with you and your sponsor so that all of it's all filled in. So it's not an act of Congress to get yourself in position. Because it's easy to rinse and repeat if we got one event. That makes sense?
Make a lot of sense.
Let's get it. All right.
Thank you, Richard.
My pleasure. Y'all have a good one.
All right, you too.
Good
Bye-bye.
night.
Good night.
Bye, Chuck Hollywood.
Yeah.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.